Easy.
Okay, at this time, I'll call to order the school board for the Muskego-Norway School District. Verification of meeting posting. This meeting was posted in accordance with our Wisconsin open meetings laws. Attendance roll call.
Mrs. Boyer.
Here.
Mrs. Baus.
Here.
Mr. Bowman.
Here.
Mr. Hyde. Here. Mr. Buckmaster.
Here.
I'm present. We have 6. We have a quorum. Tracy Blair is excused.
Thank you very much. Mr. Schrader, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Yes. Everyone would stand, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Schrader. Approval of agenda. Motion is in order.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on the agenda presented? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The agenda is approved as presented. Item 2, consent agenda. Motion is in order to approve consent agenda.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion or individual item a board member wishes to remove? Hearing none. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda in gross signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Consent agenda is approved in gross. Item 3, student representation. How you doing, Ashley?
Good, how are you? So after a long week of exams, the FBLA held a teacher appreciation luncheon on the 23rd of this month. Our Muskego Warrior team of students attended the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society Student of the Year kickoff event on the 21st. This Wednesday, MHS will be hosting a course information night, and this is for incoming freshmen and current students to learn about classes next year. And during that course information night, there is also a career fair going on in the Salentine Gym. The MHS Crystal Ball Winter Dance is on February 8th from 7 to 10:30, and Best Buddies will be hosting a sensory-friendly dance before the actual dance for the special needs students. The Behavior in America class is holding a food drive from January 27th to the 31st in honor of Martin Luther King Jr. The Winterizer is on January 31st, so make sure to buy your tickets for that. On Saturday, MHS is holding a free ACT practice test for all students. The girls ski team took first and the boys ski team took second at their last race. There is a wrestling invite, boys and girls varsity and a boys and girls varsity basketball game on the 24th. There was a all-levels girls ice hockey game, a boys varsity dive meet, a gymnastics meet, and a JV 1 and 2 girls basketball game on the 25th, also with a boys JV 2 basketball game. And for the elementary schools, just a few things. They had Panda Express come to Bay Lane Elementary and explain to the students about the Chinese New Year. And Mill Valley had their winter concert on the 23rd. Are there any questions?
Nope.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you.
Item 4, superintendent's report. Dr. Thompson.
Well, I'm happy to say I have 2 items this week, and that's it. So one is the contributions to the profession, and the other, happy to introduce the Mill Valley team for their report to the board. So Robin and team.
I'm going to try this. Can you hear me? So good evening, and thank you all for joining us tonight. So I'm Robin Schroep, building principal here, and presenting along with me tonight are members of the resource team. So I will start off with our teaching and learning coaches. So please stand or wave when I say your name. So Julie Hetzel, Abby Drobat, Rochelle Ink, as well as we have Jen Losey, our school psychologist. And then we also want to recognize Elise Harris. So Elise, would you please raise your hand? And as many of you know, she's been out on maternity leave. She comes back on Monday, a week from today. So filling in for her has been Michelle Ploshines, who we are very thankful. She's fit in quite well. All right, 2019-20 was definitely a year worth celebrating. So let's take a look at some of those celebrations. So here at Mill Valley, we have 495 thinking students, 31 alerting leaders, in addition to many others who want to change the world. This past spring was the first time we took the Wisconsin Forward test together since the referendum has passed, and our results, as you can see, are absolutely amazing. There are 60 elementary schools in Waukesha County, and Mill Valley is number 1. We are excited to say that we are number 3 in the state out of 1,200 elementary schools. The Wisconsin Forward exam is a statewide exam that 3rd through 8th graders take. For state achievement in reading, Mill Valley is number 1 in the county, with 80.2% proficient and advanced in reading. For state achievement in math, Mill Valley is also number 1 in the county, and there we had 89.3% proficient and advanced in math. So we have lots to celebrate because of the hard work and the efforts of our staff and students. Julie Hetzel will now share some of our high-impact practices that have contributed to our success here at Mill Valley.
So last year, we focused on grades 3 and 4 while sharing information with the rest of the staff on how they can help prepare students in the younger grades. The 3rd grade team did a book study on text-dependent questions and close reading. The book, as shown here, is Text-Dependent Questions, Grades K through 5, Pathways to Close and Critical Reading by Douglas Fisher and Nancy Fry. Discussions and learning took place around what close reading is and isn't, and the text-dependent questions that go with it. The teachers then implemented the newly learned ideas into their daily lessons. They also did peer observations with teachers observing close reading in action. Conversations with coaches took place and individualized coaching plans were created as a result. So, during our 2017-18 school year, Mill Valley had 75% students proficient and advanced in 3rd grade. And as you notice then, in 2018-19, we had 81% students proficient and advanced in the text-dependent analysis area of the forward. That's a 6% increase. It is our belief that through a deep teacher understanding, along with embedding text-dependent analysis into the curriculum throughout the year, our teachers were able to better prepare our 3rd grade students for the rigorous expectations of the Wisconsin Forward, which led to an increase in our 3rd grade scores from last year to this year. In 2018, 72% of our 3rd grade students scored proficient and advanced, and in 2019, this subcategory increased by 10%. So we're looking at text types and purposes here. In the next slide, in 2018, 67% of our 3rd grade students scored proficient and advanced. In 2019, this subcategory of key ideas and details increased by 11% to 78% of our 3rd graders scoring proficient and advanced. Both the subcategories of text types and purposes and the key ideas and details were areas that also saw growth besides the text-dependent analysis section. These skills help to answer text-dependent questions. So our work with text-dependent questions and close reading has been a huge success for our students' learning. Now, Abby Drogat, our teaching and learning math coach, will share some of the work we did in the area of math with our 4th grade students.
All right, so in 2018-19, 4th grade was focused on vocabulary across content areas. Specifically in the area of math, the 4th grade team, along with Elise Harris, focused on math question verbs. For example, when a question asks students to analyze the pattern, that means you are a detective and you break the material into parts. When asked to evaluate another work sample, you need to decide if something is good, bad, right, or wrong to determine the worth or quality of something. The vocabulary work wasn't just focused on the definitions, but it was getting at the root of what the question or direction was asking students to do. That way, students were better prepared to answer forward-style questions, making sure they were providing all of the calculations, reasoning, or representations required by the prompt. Understanding the question assures that students are able to actually show the content that they know, rather than getting stumped on the vocabulary within that question. So during our 2017-2018 school year, Mill Valley had 72% of students proficient and advanced in 4th grade. In 2018-19, we had 88% of students proficient and advanced. So in this area of operations and algebraic thinking, it was an increase of 17%. Additionally, there was a 21% growth in the percentage of students scoring in the advanced category alone for operations and algebraic thinking. So during our 2017-18 school year, we also had 70% of students proficient and advanced in 4th grade in the area of numbers and operations and fractions. In 2018-19, we had 87% of students proficient and advanced, and an increase of 17%. But there was also a 25% growth in the percentage of students scoring in the advanced category. It went from 27% to 52% of our 4th graders alone. And the impact of the vocabulary work went beyond just the subject of math to also increase results in reading vocabulary. In the 2017-18 school year, Mill Valley had 73% of students proficient and advanced in 4th grade, and in 18-19 we had 79% of students, which was an increase of 6%. The result of the 2018 vocabulary section in the 4th grade reading assessment was 22% of the students scoring advanced, and by 2018-19 we had 33% of the 4th grade students scoring in the advanced range. So now Rochelle Inc., our teaching and learning coach, will share about our Eye on the Goal team.
Hello. This year we are very fortunate to continue our work with Jan Sinor with the Eye on the Goal team to continue our work around PLCs. This year we are focusing on developing a mission vision statement for Mill Valley and also continuing to close the achievement gap for our students with disabilities. Our work with Jan has really engaged us to think differently about how we will close the achievement gap, because we really believe that all students can achieve proficiency. New this year to the Eye on the Goal action step is to engage in PLC work around students who are not making progress yet. So in particular, we are focusing on students with IEPs as well as students that are in interventions. We have officially named these meetings SNAP meetings, students not achieving progress, again, yet. So this is comprised of the resource team, teaching and learning coaches, our school psychologist, and our principals, along with the learning strategists. We meet every 6 weeks to determine the root cause of students' struggle or their lack of progress. Then together, we come up with an action plan that we will implement to help move students forward. Next, Jen Losey, our school psychologist, will share our whole school approach.
Good evening. So we are here at Mill Valley, we believe in the whole child, and we continue our work with PBIS to ensure that students are respectful, responsible, and kind. And this year we taught a universal definition of respect. We taught the students that respect means treating people, places, and things with kindness. And in the classroom, students just discussed how they can show kindness to themselves, others, and things. And they also learned a song that the students sing along with that also teaches respect. Staff members are engaging
sing it?
in, no, it's really catchy, so it'll be in your head all day, so probably not. No, okay, no. They know it. Yeah, so anyways.
Thank you.
I can send it to you if you want to hear it. Staff members are engaging in a growth mindset book study using the book Mindset, A New Psychology by Carol Dweck. And this book has helped us focus on changing our own mindset from fixed mindsets to a growth mindset, knowing that all students can succeed and be successful. And then also our wolf packs this year have been structured around activities that build respectful relationships.
So, we are incredibly proud to be a part of the Mill Valley staff, and we promise to continue the great traditions that have led us to be a top school in this great state of Wisconsin. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you everybody for being here. Does anybody have any questions?
Just one comment. That's amazing that you took two schools and took all the students and took them even higher. That's just amazing. I would have expected maybe somewhere in the middle, and
They spent a couple of years really planning for this, and did a fantastic job.
Thanks to you guys.
Yes, everybody working together.
I think in general, so when we announced the schools were going to merge, right? You actually had teams here formed, right? I mean, quite a bit ahead of time from what our discussions, and so I mean, you were well engaged in preparing for this. So I am so utterly impressed. I think the entire board is on these numbers and your achievement. It's just incredible. So thank you very, very much to the staff and teachers at Mill Valley. This is absolutely incredible, and nothing but a testament to what our stakeholders get and the value. So thank you all very, very much.
Excellent. Well, on that very positive note, that concludes the superintendent's report.
Wow. Thank you, Dr. Thompson. Item 5, President's Report. Just some housekeeping in the admin content area. You'll see there's a link here for a board survey. CISA 6 will forward that to me when we're done, and we'll talk about it and stuff. So currently there are 2 completed. So we want to get to 7. So that's kind of a ankle biter there. Okay, so we want to do them. So please, when you have a chance, go in and complete the survey. And that's all I have. Clerk's report, you have none. Any other board member reports?
just 2 things. We had our annual convention, and Kelly and her team did a great job. I didn't have a chance to stick around for Jeremiah's very long, but it looked like it was, I came late, and it looked like it was going pretty good. So, and then next week I'll be heading to Washington to go through the NSBA's, National School Boards Association, legislative conference. So, and we're going to Capitol Hill the day of the State of the Union speech, so that should be kind of interesting.
And we have no committee reports. I do want to jump back to the President's report. I do want to actually cite, for those of you who don't know, Brett Hyde is now, or has been the president of the Wisconsin Association of School Boards, and that is a major lobbying group for our state school boards. And he has served as the president this past year. And Brett, you did an awesome job at the conference, and an awesome job for us. So thank you, sir. Appreciate it. All right.
Thank you, Brett.
And now you go to what? You're the You're
Immediate
still,
past, President.
You're still up there. You're like the immediate past, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, well, good.
Then I'm a has-been.
Thank you, Brett. Yeah, then you're heaven. Thank you, Brett.
Thank you.
All right, that ends reports. On to item 6, resolution action items. Open enrollment seats for 2020-21.
Motion to approve open enrollment seats for 2020-2021.
Mrs. Boyer? Discussion. Good. Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Item B, gifts, grants, and bequests. I'm not seeing any here.
Nope.
Okay. We'll move on. Discussion items. A, budget 2020-21, standing item only. Got it? Unless anyone has any comments, we will move on. Item 8, information follow-up. A, you've got information on the on-site clinic. You've got your personal information memo, and I have no communications and miscellaneous business as authorized by law. Any comments, concerns, or suggestions on those? Hearing none, a motion is in order to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Holy cow.